Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Now, one of the most common comments I get in my videos is their appreciation for the paint jobs that I've done, the custom paint jobs. So I thought, let me do a video, guys, giving, I guess, some suggestions and some tips towards getting the best paint job you possibly can. You know, what to avoid, what to try and do more of, and so on. So let's not waste any time, guys. Let's jump right into it. All right, so the first disclaimer, guys, I am no expert. I started doing this thing kind of on a whim. You know, I had a vision in my head and I decided, hey, I'm going to try to do it. And it worked out good. So I wanted to, I guess, share that information with you guys to hopefully you can make use of it and you can improve on some things that you've been doing or having trouble with. So the first thing I would suggest, guys, is whatever paint job you're gonna do, whatever truck you're gonna start out with, I would say start simple. You know, start simple. Don't try to reinvent the wheel here. Start simple and make sure that you're not biting off more than you can chew. The next thing I would say, guys, is when you're getting down to painting the cars, it might be the harder thing to do, but I would highly suggest disassembling the entire truck. So take absolutely everything off. Don't try to paint, don't try to mask it off, don't try to like cut any corners. Take absolutely everything off the body, and that will give you the best chance of having the cleanest paint job where there's no marks on the windows, for example, not on the tires, not on trim you don't want the paint to be on, and so on. So take absolutely everything off. That gives you the best chance of having the absolute cleanest finish. The next thing I would suggest, guys, once you've disassembled the truck, is personally I like to use 800 grit sandpaper. I think it's a good finish. It's a nice happy medium between not making the paint surface too rough, but still removing the stock paint enough so you can put your primer on and it's still a clean finish in the end of it. So I would say use 800 grit sandpaper, not too hard. Don't rub the paint too hard, and I would say rub only in one direction. You don't want to be doing swirls, because if you do swirls, it might show in the paint finish. Nice even strokes across the entire body. That gives you the best chance of having the cleanest finish. Take your time. Don't rush. You know, try to get as much of the stock paint off as you can without rubbing out the details. Like, for example, this molded handle here, you don't want to rub off the details here, so don't rub it too hard. Take your time, one direction. That's given me good results so far. Once you've done that, guys, the next thing I would suggest is to wipe the surface off. I don't like to wash the car with soap and water. I don't think that's good personally. Like I said, I'm no expert. Everyone is going to have their own opinion, but personally, I don't want to wash the car after doing a good sand job. I wipe the car off with like wipes, like baby wipes or disinfectant wipes, and then I use isopropyl alcohol to get the surface as clean as possible. So I don't want to get any water on there. I don't want to miss anything. I don't want to have to blow the water off and stuff like that. So I use the wipes, and then like disinfectant wipes, and then I use isopropyl alcohol with a nice microfiber cloth, something that's not going to have a bunch of lint and stuff like that, to get the surface as clean as possible to get ready for the next step, which is prime. Now, once you're going to apply that first layer of paint or primer, I would highly suggest doing it indoors, guys. So personally, I don't want to do it outside. You get a lot of wind blowing, you have a lot of dust out there, you have a lot of conditions that you can't control. So I personally like to paint inside. However, you want to make sure that it's ventilated enough so you don't kill yourself, guys. I can't stress that enough, guys. You don't want to inhale that paint fumes. You know, so you want to have it indoors, but you want it to be ventilated. So don't sit in a room, an enclosed room where you're inhaling all that toxic air. Don't do that, guys. But do it inside to kind of control the environment without making it harmful to your body. So once you're inside, you want to get a nice light layer of primer across there. Now, personally, I don't have any specific brand that I work with. Depending on the type of paint job that I'm gonna do, that determines whether I'm gonna use a gray primer or a white primer, a bronze primer, etc. Generally speaking, most people use gray primer. So if you're gonna use a gray primer, I would say start with a nice light coat. You know, you don't want to have multiple coats. You want to do like a light dusting across. You want to make sure when you're painting, you start away from the body and go away. So I would say maybe like 8 inches away from the body. You start away from it and work your way across. Generally speaking, I like to start from the bottom and work my way up. So I go bottom, shoot across, come up, shoot across, come up, shoot across, etc. So that's my style. Again, guys, I'm no expert, but I've had some decent results. You know, these trucks have been field tested, so they're not as good as they were when I just painted them, but generally speaking, I've had some good results, and you can see for yourself, guys, they've been pretty good so far. Now, once you've added your layer of primer, I tend to wait around. Now, this depends on the brand primer you use. I'll share a few tips in a moment on the brands that I use. Like I said, I don't have any specific brand, but generally speaking, I will go to these brands. I'll share that in a second. But once you've added your primer, guys, after adding that primer to the entire body, I would say give it about maybe 35 minutes to an hour to kind of set. You don't want it to completely dry, but you don't want it to be too wet either when you go to apply your actual body color. You know, so I'd say anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour to let that primer set where it's kind of tacky but not too runny and not too dry. That's what I tend to do, guys, and it's given me pretty good results. This was the first paint job that I ever did on this WPLC 64-1. I was absolutely blown away with the results, guys. For my first time, I absolutely loved the way this thing came out, and it's really having a good result kind of encourages you to do more, and that's exactly what happened for me with this Hilux here. So yeah, after about 30 minutes or so, you want to do the exact same thing you did when you applied the primer, which is when you go to apply that color, you start away from the body, lightest coat ever. You almost want to kind of see that primer through the color for the first coat. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to have like a full-on spray on there because you're going to have runs and you're going to have stuff like that. You want to avoid that, guys. If you want to have the best result, just start light, guys. You know, so do that first coat nice and light. Start away from the body, spray across, come up, spray across, etc. Same result every time, guys. Nice and clean, no runs, no dust because of the enclosed environment, etc. So that's worked good for me. After you added that coat, I wait about maybe 20 minutes to 30 minutes to add that second layer, and depending on how deep you want the color to be, you can add maybe 2 to 3 layers of that color to really get that pop. All right, guys, so once you've added that first color, let's say you want to have like a two-tone paint job on there. Now, generally speaking, you can get any regular RC tape, painter's tape or whatever. This is the one I use, not too thick, not too thin. As you can see, I've used quite a lot of it. It's almost done. You can get this anywhere, any hobby store. You can order it online and so on. Now, guys, I like to go in store. I don't like to order things, especially when I'm picking my colors. I don't like to order anything. I want to see it in person. So I generally go to stores, like maybe like an Advanced Auto or AutoZone and stuff like that has paint. The paint brand that I've used that has given me good results is Duplicolor. I do like their stuff. It always has good finishes. I like the way the spray on from the can sprays. It's a nice thin layer and it's always consistent. I love that. So Duplicolor is the brand that I've been working with lately. mainly for their spray can. I really like the way their cans spray, so it's really easy to manage and all that stuff. So if I was to give a recommendation, I would say Duplicolor. I don't give tutorial guys. Like I said, I am no expert, so this is just like a guide, let's say. But anyways, if you're doing a two-tone job on your car, I would say wait till you you want to find a small layer where that's like an inconspicuous layer on the paint, and give it a touch. And as long as you're not seeing your fingerprint when you touch the body, I would say it's safe to add that tape, to tape it off, to add your second layer. Now, the one tip I would give with taping off, make sure that edge of that tape, so when you go to lay that tape down, most people just run their hand through the center of the tape to say it's taped off. That part doesn't matter as much as the edge, so make sure that edge is absolutely flat. So go through nice and slow and make sure you press in that tape to get it as flat as possible on that surface. Now, if you want to play it extra safe, you can add a second layer of tape over the top of that layer to make sure that tape is nice and flat and flush to the surface to avoid any bleed, to make sure those lines stay as sharp as possible. Gives you the best results. So pro tip there, guys, adding that tape, take your time. Now, once you've added that tape, guys, once you've applied the layer that you're happy with, this is subjective, so it's all up to you. But I add clear coat afterwards. It kind of protects that paint job a little bit more, and it adds that extra layer of sheen to the paint job to kind of complete that finish. So I would say adding that layer of clear, I do 2 coats generally speaking, just to add that extra layer of thickness to the paint, make sure it's protected as best as possible. I've had good results with that. And you want to do the exact same thing, guys. You want to start away from the body and spray across. I start from the bottom, like I've mentioned. So start at the bottom, away from the body, about 8 inches away, add it down, come up, add it, and across, and so on until you're done. You know, and you can see for yourself, guys. You can let me know if you think the paint jobs are good. Like I said, these trucks have been out in the courses and out in the field, out on trails, so they're not as shiny and pristine as they once were, but they've held up pretty well. Nothing flaked off, nothing's chipping, you know, nothing's runny and all that stuff. It looks generally as good as it did when I just did the paint job. So just thought I'd share that with you guys. You know, hope you like it. Get subscribed, guys. I'm gonna make some more videos coming up very soon. I'm gonna probably post 1 or 2 videos this week, so look out for that, guys. But I just wanted to share this with the community to kind of contribute to anybody that may be having trouble getting a paint job, or think it's a little bit daunting. You know, they're kind of intimidated by painting their trucks. So it's something you can do, guys. And if ever it gets, you know, messed up, you can always sand it down and try again, guys. So that's my tips. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.